Hey, there we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy first Monday of 2023. So many firsts. Um. Anyway, I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We're in the Icarus 52, departing from Bismarck, runway 13. We have two navigation aids, two VOR DMEs that we're going to intercept before we land there at St. Cloud Regional near in Minnesota. So, um, so yeah, that's what we got going on. Apologize by the slight delay. Running just a little bit behind this morning. So, but we're here. We'll get going here in just a moment. Good morning, Joseph. Let's change the weather, so I don't forget that. Oh, let me check the server. I don't forget that. Of course, it's on West USA. Let's change that and change that again. There we go. All right, now we're all set. So I'm going to take a couple sips of coffee here, give people time to come in and sit down and relax, and we'll get started here in just a bit. All right, there we go. And tomorrow we're going to go from here down here to near Sioux Falls. A little airport right there. And then Saturday we'll be doing the long flight. I still got to go get a few things for that for Saturday, so I have some stuff to eat, something to snack on. Hopefully something that will keep me going through the entire 12 hours. Probably have to order some food, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided, but yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my energy up for the entire flight there. So we'll get started here in about 9 minutes. I'll spawn in. We'll get the. Oh, you know what? While we're waiting on that, let's do this. Excuse me. And I believe today we will be on the farm with Mick about 1 o'clock Eastern. Let's go to. Just put that in. That should be more than enough to get us there. So yeah, we're gonna do the farming, and then let's see, I did put this on, didn't I? Yeah. All right. So we do that this afternoon. Get some stuff done, and hopefully his internet behaves. That's the plan, at least. that. All right. In about 7 minutes, we'll get started. There's the root. Yep. And of course, the server, we did double check that. Yeah, it was funny. I was flying. I did a thing for Parasox Airlines. I did a flight from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, and as I was pulling into my gate, I see Mick on final approach in Los Angeles, and he parked right next to me. I was like, "What?" I didn't see him in the air the entire time or nothing until I'm on the ground and get to the gate, and bam, there he is. So I was like, I looked at the time, like, my goodness, I thought he would have been asleep. But so this will be the longest portion of our flight right here. Once we depart Bismarck and head for Fargo. That is 161 nautical miles, 82 from Fargo to Alexandria, and 51 from Alexandria to St. Cloud. So that's what we got on tap for today. So we'll head almost directly west, or east, I mean. We'll head southeast the rest of the way. So we should have a nice tailwind, hopefully. Hopefully, even without the live weather. Hopefully we'll have a nice tailwind from Bismarck to Fargo. So, but yeah, I flew the Braddock 737. Oh, I tell you, that thing, it was a wow. I forgot what a challenge it can be. And it's not study level, it's just getting the speeds down and just, oh yeah, it was a pain in the butt last night. I should have flown the A320 instead, but I had to try to rise to the challenge. All right, let's run a quick minute 30 ad break, and then we'll get started here. A little bit past the ad break. All right, it looks like the ads are done. And we'll get started here in about two minutes. Any questions, comments? Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I tell you, I what I've noticed is when, and I'm just gonna say this while we're sitting here on the ground before we get started. You know, when people's channels become popular, right, which is great, right? You want to grow your channel. And what I noticed is people tend to um, they tend to they try to make it about themselves, right? Um, or they ask some really off the wall questions. Yeah, I'm just noticing like it's like there's that cycle again, and I think it's more when people aren't at school or at work, you know, they're bored. I don't know. It's just I noticed it yesterday in Joe's stream. I noticed it last night in Scruffy's stream. I noticed it yesterday morning in Viper Strike stream. It's like there's that. It's like that cycle again where people, oh, I see this. Let me go in here and you know, it's just absolutely crazy sometimes. Um, but you want your channel to grow, but you know with that growth there's going to be the the I don't know what do you want to call it, the foolish people, I guess. No. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here and get started. No, Joseph, that's not what I was asking you. That's all right. I'll address that here. Let me get going here. 11620. All right. That wasn't the question. I meant like, you know, Mick has his farm is named a certain thing, not the map. The Morning, Mick. All right. Let's go ahead and adjust our time. All right, getting our navigation stuff dialed in. Tablet on there. There's that. Okay. Turn. Oops, not that one. That. And that off. Alright. I think we're just about all set. Alright. Hey, good morning, Mick. Nice to see you. I feel like I just saw you. Was just not too long ago. Oh, that was so. I there's that. What else is there? There's that. All right. Let's go ahead and get going here. Refresh the stream. And away we go. Morning. Oh yeah, always at least Mondays. If I couldn't fly on Monday, it'd be a Tuesday. But yeah, we fly the Junkers at least twice during the week. Mondays and Wednesdays typically. Doing our flight across. All right, we are on heading 083. So yeah, this is our biggest leg here, 161 nautical miles, and then 80 something, and then 50 something. So hopefully we have a nice bit of a tailwind helping us get towards Fargo there. If you're going to join, now would be the time to do it. Otherwise, the next probably decent sized airport will be in Fargo. Spider Steve. That we have the icing on, but like I said before, we just want to get in those habits. We should be doing this before we take off, most likely, at least initially. All right, we got our signal. Oop. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got the right. 620. We couldn't have traveled that far already. 116 nautical miles, not 160. 106. Oh wait, no. No, it is 160. 160. So there's no way we traveled 80 something nautical. Oh, I know why. I hit the wrong button. There we go. That's what it was. Okay. Oops, snakes. Oh no, it's just whatever. I don't think there's anything going to really be in our way, so we're just going to climb until we're. If I can need to pull the flaps back in because we're doing pretty good right now as it stands on altitude. There's altitude. Goes over back just a bit as well. It'll settle down eventually, but yeah, I think we're. I don't think there's anything. Let me look at the. I don't think we really have to worry about it too much. I think we're just going to be in some pretty flat part of the country. Didn't really plan on it because there's no way for me to set it. I let it climb, or if not, I try to force it to climb until we're at a altitude that I know we can get over some mountains, or we'll go around them, or just try to find the lowest part of the mountain range or whatever. Hopefully we get a nice tailwind here. At least a little bit of wind to help push us along a little bit quicker. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, same time. And we'll continue from, once we get to St. Cloud, we'll go from St. Cloud down to near Sioux Falls, Idaho, Joe Foss Field. Our destination tomorrow. That might be a bit of a shorter flight. What I basically did was I tried to, now kind of zigzagging across the states, trying to find reasonable distances between each airport, and we're just going to make it our way, and we're going to keep zigzagging until we get all the way back to New York. But we still got to go up through through Boston and everything up there, so we're going to have to try to find a way through there and then get back to New York. So, to JFK, I should say. So that's on the agenda. Going forward. Heading back east. Eventually we'll be in that time zone where we won't really have to fiddle with the time. We'll have a get some pictures here real quick while we're cruising along. Well, I kind of like that one right there, just like that. There we go. So yeah, only 3 flights this week. This one, the one on Tuesday, and then we will have the long haul flight on Saturday in the 747 ASFO to Tokyo, San Francisco to Tokyo. That's going to be about 12 hours. So we're looking at least 12, if not 12 and a half, almost 13 hours of streaming. So if you're going to fly along with me, there's Mick in the DC-3. Look at that. He's gonna go way ahead of us. The DC-3 is certainly much faster. There he goes shooting by on the on the tablet. It finally caught up. So yeah, if anybody's thinking about doing that flight from San Francisco to Tokyo, now's the time to plan your stuff. Or what you could do is, I don't know. If you fly a bigger jet, you fly the 747, but you go to Alaska. I don't know that the airport up there can handle the 747. We could probably try it, but otherwise we're going. It's gonna be a long flight. We'll see if we can add more followers along the way. We'll see. Today's flight brought to you by Parasox Airlines. Parasox Airlines. Just because you have a pair of socks, not mean you have to match. Scruffy will tell you. They'll show you too. You ask them nicely. I think Scruff's lurking in his morning go-to stream, apparently. You're there. Good morning, Scruffy. All right, 130, just under 137 nautical miles to our first VOR DME. If we're basically in flat area, the VORs should be able to pick those signals up fairly easily. Versus the mountainous areas there we were in Colorado and Montana, so. Glad to be a morning destination for any of y'all. Try to have fun. We try to have it relaxed, especially on a Monday. Usually Monday is the stressful day of the week. Nobody wants to go back to work. Nobody wants to go back to school. all, etc., etc., etc. Oh, now the ads are starting on its own. That's interesting. Well, ad break coming up then, folks. See you. If you are not a subscriber, of course, you have to sit through the ads. That's how we keep the lights on here in the Euchers 52. We have to run some ads. Those little light bulbs back there do cost money. Pardon me, I didn't mean to cough in everybody's ear. Not as cold this week as it was last week. Knock on wood. We've had rain instead of snow. Pretty much all the snow. Yeah, I'd say all the snow is now gone that was here last week. Quite okay with that. Rather deal with the rain than the snow, personally. Look at that, we are cruising along at a really good speed. 105 knots. I like it. So I started watching the no well it looks like light bulbs. I don't think it has LEDs, but it might. I don't know. The way that the light falls, it looks like it would be a light bulb. But you can't even see, like, if you go up underneath it, it's not like there's a little light panel up in the top there. So I don't know. So I was watching the third season of the Jack Reacher series Jack Ryan, Reacher Ryan, yeah, all R's and J's. Jack Ryan with the guy from The Office who played I can't think of his name now. Anyway. He plays Jack Ryan, John something. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but anyway, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I haven't got all the way through season 3 yet, but yeah. I'm gonna have to probably rewatch it because I did miss some stuff. But yeah, we play the ads so that either way, whether they're LEDs or light bulbs, we got to keep the lights on somehow. Yeah, I know, Joseph. I don't know. I didn't quite catch was getting you on the giggle fit there, but because I couldn't hear Glenn clearly. That's a good sign. Yes. Been through Minneapolis before. Well, normally we could hear him. I don't know if he just didn't have his mic near his mouth enough to hear him, or I don't know. But whatever it was difficult to hear him. That's all I can say. So I don't know what he said that got you on a giggle fit, darn near coughing fit. So I don't know, but. Why is your plane moving away from us? But anyway. Surprised Nella hasn't made it in yet. Maybe Nella's looking as well. All right, 118, just under 119 to go. Now, it would not surprise me. Let's just look here. Oops, wrong. There is one. Of course. All right. I don't know why I did not pick this up, but when I was putting the flight plan together, it did not say, but it turns out there is one. There is a VOR DME right near our airport, so we're going to dial in that one once we get past Alexandria, so that we maintain the correct heading. Add that to my list right now. Let's see. There we go. So I have that. So next one will be 116 and 101. Alright. So let me add that to the list there. All right, there we go. Now we're good. I don't know if we're too long. start getting way off course there and all that. Spider mix back there in the DC3. He's circling around because the DC3 is much quicker than the Eucharist 52 is. Oh, it didn't seem like it. I did do the second leg of the second and final leg for Parasox Airlines challenge to do or achievement for you return from Berlin Tempelhof back to Wiesbaden? Yeah, Army Airfield there. After dropping off supplies there in Berlin, as part of the Berlin airlift. So, yeah, I got that done, but it felt like forever. Even though it's a fast plane, it seemed like it was not moving fast. It took me an hour and a half to get from Berlin down back over to Wiesbaden. And I'm getting together the stuff for to start practicing in the A310. I'm going to start with going from San Francisco to Los Angeles one way, just to get, you know, familiar with inputting the flight plan and all that, and flying the route. And then eventually I'm going to add in practicing over going from Newark Liberty to Syracuse. The only problem is that there's no, on the A310 we don't have a United Airlines livery for it, and most of the planes that fly that route are either Embraer 175 or the CRJs, or the Bombardier regional jets. So that's the only drawback on that. But I'll have to come up with something. And I didn't realize, when I was looking up information on who flew the A310s, Delta had got some, they'd placed the order, but then they got like another dozen or so from Pan Am. And so they have a Pan Am tail code, but they have a Delta livery. It was some sort of agreement between Delta and Pan Am back in the day when the A310 was being operated. So I don't know if that was like the early days of a airline alliance. You know, hey, if you fly this route for us, we'll pay you, we'll give you the aircraft for it, kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's but yeah, I'll just have to do it. Just put it won't be like a legit livery. I'll just have to do like a flight number or something, but or pick a gate or something. I don't know. Because that's a short route to do. An hour. Something like that. So that would be easy to practice with. Let's lean the mixture back even more. A little bit more. Too much more. Good right about there. yeah, we're getting to the halfway point here on this first leg. Close to it. Yeah, business will be back to normal there at, well, as normal can be, huh? Back at Microsoft and the Sobo. First legitimate roadmap update of the year will be this Thursday. Well, not even fingers crossed, but that's the expectation. Although whether it happens or not, we'll see. Well, I think even if we could raise our gear, and I know you're kind of being funny, Steve, but I don't know that we'd be fast enough to catch the. I mean, those are two big radial engines, and we only have the 3 BMWs that just don't have the same oomph as the DC3's got. But it'd be interesting to see if we can catch them. That's for sure. But you know, these things were fast for their time, I think. But the engines were not, they're not nearly as big and have enough horsepower to catch up with something like that. Yeah. Yeah, this thing said it was going to be about a 3-hour flight. Again, I think this is one of those times where it overestimated the time. So, I mean, we've been streaming for 49 minutes, flying for 30-something minutes, I think, or less than that. Because I did start a few minutes late, so let's say we've been flying for maybe 38 minutes, roughly. We're more than almost halfway to our first VOR, so yeah, we're doing pretty good on time. I think we'll get this done a lot sooner than what the sim said at the beginning there. Oh, I don't know when he's going to start it, but for those who are interested, Captain Arash will be doing tutorial videos using the handheld, the analog E6B, and then he's got a calculator type E6B as well. He's going to be doing tutorials for those, so I'll give him a quick shout out. He does have a Discord. If you go to his channel, you can join his Discord, and then you can, when he's ready to do those, his was on back order for quite some time. So, if you want to learn how to do all that, you go give him a follow. There are videos out there on it, but they're already pre-recorded, so if you're interested in that, you'll be able to ask questions during the stream. If there's something that he said that you don't understand or whatever. So I just remember that he posted in his Discord about it over the weekend, that he finally got his in the mail the other day, and then so he's planning on doing some tutorials for that. So those who want to add a little something to their flight simming to figure out fuel and wind and speed and ETAs, and how long it'll take you to get from one on a leg. So like this could be considered like leg A going to our first VOR DME. How long is it going to take to get there roughly, based on the wind and the speed and stuff. So, and of course on the analog one you got to move the wheel and crunch the numbers and all that, but the little handheld one, it's like a calculator. It automatically does all the stuff for you. Just plug the information. One of the things I'm just thinking about, so if we don't have live weather on, but we know we have wind, we don't know how fast the wind's going or from what direction. Other than I think we've pretty much been having a tailwind. How much of a tailwind, I don't know. I'm guessing at least 4 knots. Oh, the E6B, which is like they call it a flight computer. There's an analog one that's how pilots you use that to calculate like how much fuel you're gonna need, how long the flight, or if you're doing like VOR to VOR, how long is it gonna take to get from once you take off to your first VOR, the estimated time. And then you could also factor in things like the wind speed, stuff like that. Yeah, but he's got the analog one, which is like this circle with a slide in the middle, and then there's a calculator type version that you plug in the information that that you have available, and then it'll figure out, I think it'll figure out the other information for you. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that's gonna. But yeah, if he posted something about it on his Discord the other day, and so I just was remembering that he was going to start doing that eventually. Yeah, he uses the little nav map, but for those who don't have it, or if you don't want to always rely, kind of go, kind of like with the celestial navigating, you go back old school and you learn the old school ways, and then you could validate your information, see, is there even a minor discrepancy, you're within a tolerance range, right? But if it's way off, then something's not right, obviously, but yeah, I know he uses a little nav map as well, but I think he's very much into the old school way of doing things, especially with the celestial navigating. So this just adds another, and for some people who are going through ground school before they try to get the private pilot license or whatever, that's a good way for them to practice as well. So let's fly outside here for a little bit. Yeah, if you're interested in those sorts of things, he's very big about the and I can respect that, because when I was in the Army, we became very reliant on GPS systems, right? Something like this. And a lot of people forgot how to use a compass and map, because if something happens and you can't use this, how are you going to navigate, right? So, how are you going to figure things out? Yeah, it's although I use everything I have available to me to help me fly, because I'm not as, I've gotten better, I think, and part of that's in large part due to Captain Arash and learning how to fly VOR to VOR. But yeah, yeah, he does do quite a good job of showing stuff to people who, it's learn the old way, because you never know when you may have to rely on that analog wheel to calculate stuff. So that's fantastic that he's willing to do that for the community. Just like Celestial Navigator putting together a app and all that to do celestial navigating in flight sim. It's not like real world where you pull out the sextant and, but the concepts are there. That's the important part. Of course, most of you already do, but if you don't already, go give Scruffy follow. I love his streams. He's very positive. If you're a streamer, the only thing he doesn't like is if you say, "Oh, I'm a streamer, come check me out, follow me, da 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 da." But if you just happen to mention like, "Oh yeah, I stream too," and leave it at that, then he's okay with that. But that's the only level of self-promoting he tolerates in his stream chat. Otherwise, yeah, awesome dude, very friendly, very, as he likes to say, very engaging. I think we need to get a book of flight sim catchisms. Flight sim streamer catchisms. Engaging is one of the big ones. How do you engage with your audience? But I think it's true of any streaming, whether it's flight simming or whatever. But I know some streamers don't engage at all. And it's like, and maybe they're okay with that. They're not really looking to grow their channel. So, a lot of people don't talk at all when they stream. Maybe they don't have a mic or something yet. Alright. I think I did not load enough fuel. Yeah, I should have just put 100%. Put 70. We've used 19% now. Put that 19 back. Well, that's... Yeah, I know you do, Mick. But that's just how you engage. But you have a very, your audience is, it's the usual suspects, So we know what to expect with you, or at least I think we do. yeah, sometimes it's easy to engage for the most part. Other times it's like there's there's almost like a sense of over engagement, right? Because people will. I've seen it, and you've seen it too, Nick. Whether it's been any number of streams that we've been watching over the years, the past few years especially, there's people who come in and become very demanding. You know, instead of, and I don't know if it's a lack of maturity, if it's a language barrier. Hey, good morning, Planet Neutral. How are you? Nice to see you here. Welcome. Happy 2023 to you. There's any number of things that could be a factor. But when you try to be, even when you try to be pleasant with somebody, and there was, Scruffy was talking about it the other day, he finally had to kick somebody from his stream. It was the first time it's ever happened. And part of that's due to, somebody could not, they were, they just weren't gonna respect the rules or whatever, and have a seat and just chill and watch the stream. And no matter how pleasant Scruffy was, it was evident that the other person was not going to respect his opinion or whatever, even though Scruff said, look, we can agree to disagree. Nothing wrong with that. No. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was just like they kept on it, and it was just like, but dude, it's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Let's just get on with the flying. And yeah, so finally they had to show him the door. I honestly thought I tell you, I gotta hand it to Scruff, because I probably would have kicked somebody last night if it had been up to me, because I thought it was going to get to that point again when he was flying last night, and finally the person kind of like, okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I almost thought it was going to be somebody's going to have to get shown the door again. But I know me personally, like I try to be understanding and and like Scruggs says, people are entitled to their opinions and whatnot. But I have a low tolerance for, no matter how I try. Like there was somebody who came in, and this was like early on, or it was either late in 2021. Yeah, because I was still streaming on Twitch, and I hadn't made affiliate yet, so I was streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and we got this big old debate about. Yeah, exactly, Planet. That's the hard part. But people came in. I did a flight from like San Francisco or Oakland to Savannah, Georgia, and we were in A320. We're just cruising right along, and I think it happened again when I did the flight from JFK to Germany to Frankfurt. Oh, you need to speed the plane up. No, the plane's flying just the speed it's supposed to. No, you need to speed it up. No, I don't. The plane is flying as it's designed to fly, at the speed it's supposed to fly to. I'm not going to speed it up. No, you're going too slow. And so I had to explain to them, right? When you're at a certain altitude, it appears that you're going slow, even though you're going at Mach 0.78, which you're going just below, you're below the sound barrier, but you're moving pretty quick. But I did the research. I did the science. I did the math, whatever you want to call it. And it was very plain, the explanation. When it, just like if you watch an aircraft fly across, it looks like it's slow because it's at a higher altitude. But if it was much closer to the ground, it would just go zipping past you, right? Yeah. So I told people, like, in the next stream, I said, well, I looked, and this is the reason why this looks like the way it does. Oh no, that's so yeah. Like you try to tell people this information, and they're just like, no, you're full of it, or no, you just need to speed the plane up even more. Well, no, because then the plane's not designed to do that. It's designed to operate at a certain speed and all this other stuff. But yeah, somebody was if it had been me, I would have been like, I think I would have been like, yeah, you know what, you're entitled to your opinion. I fly the way I fly, how I fly, where I fly, whatever. Yeah, but that's not reason. Like, I used to, like, when I first started flying the sim, I never had live weather on, right? Never. It was always be sunny, and then after a while, I'm like, no, that's not very realistic. I gotta have live weather. But then I didn't realize that with the live weather, you have to change your altimeter reading once you reach a certain level. Like in the A320, for instance, once and even on the 737 Max, once you get above 18,000 feet, you change the altimeter to standard pressure, and then it's all good. But below 18,000 feet, you have to have whatever the. So I'm descending, and I didn't even think about changing the altimeter reading. So they'd be like, "You're at the wrong altitude." I'm like, "But it says I'm at the right altitude." So all those things I had to learn, about once I started introducing live weather. But I should have been doing the live weather early on, because then I wouldn't have developed some bad habits or started thinking, or doing stuff without thinking about what I was doing. So yeah, but yeah, I don't have a. I try to be more tolerant of stuff like that, but it's when somebody isn't going to let it go and they keep bringing it up, then it's like, okay, I realize now nothing I say is going to make any difference to you. So, what's the cutoff point? You just say, all right, I'm just going to move on and ignore what the person says in the chat for the rest of it, because, well, yeah, because a lot of people, and I told my buddy this, that he downloaded Flight Sim, but he's never stepped foot in it, as far as I know. That at the beginning, turn off the wear and tear stuff. Just get used to flying, because you don't want the added stuff of the plane falling apart on you. Just get to just get the feel for things, and then you can add to the realism as time goes on. But I did that. I never used fuel consumption or anything like that. I would just put on unlimited fuel, so I would just be like. So yeah, it's easy. You start to develop those bad habits. All right, 48 nautical miles, and so you don't think about it. Yeah, I was it somebody when I first started flying the Junkers. When I was doing the trip to Indonesia and I finished it in the Junkers, somebody's like, "Well, why don't you open the overhead window there? That's how I fly." Well, okay, that's how you fly. That's something. I have to fly that way, and it reminded me of, there's people in the train sim community who are the exact same way. Well, you need to do the horn codes just like this. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You have to do it that way. No, I don't. I don't have to do horn codes. Well, but I'm telling you, these are the horn. Well, okay, but if that's how you play Train Sim World 2 or 3 or whatever, and you do the horn codes, go for it. That's how you do it. You do you. I don't care about that kind of stuff. You missed a horn code. I don't care. I'll do one maybe for you, but that's it. I'm not doing it the whole freaking way. That gets old after a while. Yeah. Oh, no. You have to do this. No, I don't. It's a sim. It's just a game. We're supposed to be having fun. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I think I do. But I know there's people who like the realism aspect of it. Like I love the fact when I watch Captain Arash, he pulls out an actual checklist before he starts up his 172. Me, I just do the automatic checklist. Plane started up, let's go. But he does it step by step. And just like he did with his dad with the A310. They went through the checklist step by step. But I understand that. I think that's an absolutely amazing thing to do. But other people are like, oh, I just, Yeah. See, yeah, some people do ready to take off. They spawn in on the runway ready to go, which I learned after a while that's how I had to do the Euchers 52, because if I did the startup and everything cold and dark, if I do it on stream, it's going to take a while. Which it just adds more time to the stream, and I may not have that kind of time. So I had to people want to fly, not watch me fumble. Yes, exactly. But sometimes that's hey, what does this do over here? Can you go? Yeah, sure. We can add some more heat to the carburetors. We should add a little bit more heat, even though we don't have the icing on. Again, we're trying to get in some good habits. But yeah, I like that fact that he does that. But that's not how everybody else does it, right? But he doesn't tell everybody they have to do it exactly like he does either. And I'm sure if you ask him hey, where did you find that checklist? Did he print it out himself? Did he go buy one somewhere? Because you can buy those. You can find them. You don't always mess up, Nick. That's not always true. Sometimes the game itself messes it up for us. Because the games that are released now are so full of bugs and that you never know when you're going to discover one. But yeah, it's that's the one thing. Even Scruffy says, fly whatever you want to fly. If you want to fly upside down, if you want to buzz by me in a fighter jet, whatever, go for it. It's not a big deal. Fly whatever you want to fly. But yeah, there are people who will say, well, no, if I'm flying this. And I thought about that at first, but it's well, that's not reasonable, because this is not a free plane, right? The Euchers 52. You have to, that's true, you do, yes. Yes, you do. So I always tell people, like, don't, if you don't have it, don't spend the money, right? Don't spend the money just to fly the same plane as me. And that's not fair for me to expect that somebody would do that. Well, Spider Steve, he's going to go falling out the air in the Euchre 52. So yeah, now on the other hand, there are things, and they try, like the Cannonball Run thing, right? They tried to make it where, they limited the type of aircraft. There was one that was banned, even though it wasn't a turboprop. They just felt that it had an unfair advantage. But you weren't required to buy any other aircraft in order to do the Cannonball Run. And I think Scruffy commented the other day that it's very likely that the SR-22 will be banned next year, because that was the preferred plane, because it does have anti-ice on there, at least for the airframe, not the prop, but and it's much better on fuel than the 172 is. So they'll probably, like, whenever somebody uses something and it's like people feel like it had an unfair advantage, well, then it gets banned. But that may also, you may see a lot of people not participate, the next time around. That's the drawback. If you ban something, then you may lose participants. All right, 31 nautical miles. We're scooting along pretty good here. All right, next leg is 83 nautical miles. This is 82 and a half, so we'll just round it up. Say 83. $115.95. Yeah, I looked at it. I saw it because I think Scruffy was talking about it. I did look. He had some links, I think, in his Discord for it. I did look at it, and I was like, I might. But then I'm like, yeah, there's all these rules, and which I could understand, right? But why not have, like in the Cannonball Run, the car race, you had different classes of cars. You had faster cars, and so you could have like a class win, so that way if somebody wanted to do, obviously you rule out the jetliners because, but if you wanted to fly the 350i, for instance, you could have a 2-engine, kind of class or something like that with limitations. But of course, the car race, there was probably a lot of cheating going on, But that's why, of course, you have to you have the rules. You can't have anything modified. No liveries that are, an add-on. Which, I guess from what I understand, I didn't even think about this, but that there's people who can code, you know, stuff within the livery that gives you an advantage somehow. Which I'm like, that's just ludicrous that you're that desperate to cheat that you're going to spend the time to change the code on a livery to get some sort of a advantage out of it. But yeah, I think it'd be fun for classes, but it's also part of it too is how are you going to keep an eye on the different classes? So let's say you have a class that's just all 350Is. Would they have to be on a different server, and would somebody have to monitor that server? Because it's all, the people who put all that together, they volunteer to do it. So, all right, 23 and a half. But yeah, I'm glad my channel's grown, but I know as we go into the summertime, that's when you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be looking for attention, are going to come in and start acting up again. But like I feel confident, like I have mods in my channel. I do have stuff that if they're not there, that I can hold a message can be approved. They have to wait for my approval before I can let it be allowed in the chat. If it's somebody who's automatically going to be a troublemaker, I can get them blocked right away, sort of thing. But yeah, I thought if that had been me last night, I probably would have blocked that person, or at least timed him out. But Scruffy prevailed either way. I just never thought I'd see such a, I wouldn't say it got heated, I don't know, maybe a quote-unquote spirited debate about what server to use and when to use it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I'm voice Scruffy because generally, on average, the Southeast Asia server, when I've been flying on it, is generally very stable. Knock on wood, even if it's fake wood. So I do agree with him there. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just the three of us right here. Nobody else is in sight. Right? But part of it, too, is we're in a part of America right now where most people probably would not be flying. Most people go to JFK or Los Angeles or San Francisco or Seattle, Miami, the big, big airports. Even though we'll be near Minneapolis, Minnesota, and there's a big airport there, we may see a few people there, but most people don't think about that area. They think about the bigger, Boston, JFK, Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, Chicago. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think Scruffy was trying to say last night. And that other person was just kind of, yeah, but, you got a valid point, but if it felt unstable, just like, Captain Arash has, I forget which one he prefers to fly on when he does his flights in Australia, or maybe even his Friday. Yes, yeah, I'm sure they have. There's no doubt about it. But so yeah, but he, Captain Arash, if it's starting to lag really bad for everybody, okay, let's jump to a different server. And I think Scruffy would be the same way. Hey, this server is acting up, or it's getting really bad for everybody. Let's change servers and see if we can go find a better one. But that's at the streamer's discretion. I prefer Southeast Asia because it seems like, except for a rare occasion have I had, it's been pretty stable. But I don't also have the number of people flying with me like Scruff does, or Captain Arash, or anybody else, for that matter. And I think that's one of the joys I have about flying at the time I do. Unless I'm near a major airport, it's pretty quiet in the server. But I didn't, one of the things I learned early on, I did not have multiplayer on at all. I was very adamant about not having multiplayer. Because it was just like, well, sorry you want to fly with me, but I'm just kind of doing my own thing, and I prefer it that way. But then I thought about it, I'm like, well, that, viewers may not understand that or appreciate it, and there are people who want to fly along just because it's time for them to get in the air and just fly, just to get some time in, time in the sim, and they want to fly with other people, or maybe it's an area that they haven't flown in, so they're like, oh, I'll fly with you because this looks cool. So I finally opened it up, but then the funny thing was, when I opened it up, all the people who were wanting to fly, hey, yeah, he's here. He was what? Oh, Bex, look in the Discord. Look where he was last night, or early this morning for you, on your side of the world. How are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah, the people who wanted to fly with me, once I finally said, okay, I'll open up the multiplayer and just leave it open, none of those people would show up. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like pulling up to get ready to turn towards the gate, the park, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what's he doing here? He snuck in on me. And then parked right next to me. At that too. I had no idea he was in the air the entire time until I see him on final approach there at Los Angeles. And then, so I'm guessing, Mick, did you fly out of? Did you take off out of Las Vegas? he might have flown a different way than I did to get to Los. Yeah, surprise! I was like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? I'm like, I know I'm a little tired, but I don't think I'm that tired that I'm hallucinating. Yep, Spider Steve is in the other Euchers 52, and Nick's back there in the DC3. So we are on our way to St. Cloud's Regional. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a couple people in. We're going to pass this first VORD or me there in Fargo. And make our way into Minnesota. We'll be landing near Minneapolis. We expect the northwestern part of outside of Minneapolis. Now the funny thing was, so for those of you who do remember, I had the I bought the Vegas airport / city scenery pack last, I think it was sometime in 2022, might have been late 2021, but anyway, so I had uninstalled all the add-on airports that I had. Well, when I was looking at the flight for Delta Airlines leaving Las Vegas and heading to Los Angeles, the problem was, hold on a second, let me get this dialed in here. 115. The problem was that the gate did not on the when I was looking for the gate to depart from, they're not labeled correctly in the stock airport in the sim already. So when I downloaded the and then restarted the sim after I downloaded the airport for Las Vegas, bam, there's the correct gate numbers and everything. Now, my question would be, why do I have to have an add-on airport for that information to be correct? Why wasn't it correct from the get? Not trying to be mean or anything like that, but why isn't the information correct from the get? Hey, Infidel Fireman, how are you? There is Scruffy's right-hand man, Infidel Fireman. Welcome, how are you? Nice to see you here. Infidel also streams. Gotta find his, there it is. Do go give him a follow if you haven't already. That is Scruffy's trusted right-hand person. Yeah, you're welcome. Just trying to repay all the shout-outs that I've gotten from you and Scruff over time. Sometimes you do one, and as soon as and the next thing I know, Scruff's doing. It's like he doesn't see that you already gave me a shout out, so I get a double shout out. big believer in trying to pay it forward, trying to help people grow their channels as well. I mean, I don't have quite the reach that Scruffy does. Yeah. So, but no, I try to show my appreciation for folks who've given me some shout outs, support and all that. So I think that's one of the great, Scruff's talked about it in his channel, and lots of other streamers have done the same thing, but that there's a lot of positivity in the flight sim community. There are those outliers who are, hey Amela, how are you? I had chicken nuggets last night. McDonald's chicken nuggets. Not the store bought, put it in the oven and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, on average, I think there is a lot of positivity in the community, but there are those who, the miserable folks who don't like that positivity. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that. No, that's the thing, of course I'll never be I don't know that anybody will ever be as big as Two-Tone Murphy. I mean, he's huge in the community. But no, I'm I try to do the best I can. I try to be gracious, humble, whatever, I don't know. I just try to be genuine, I guess. I'm good. Yeah, not as cold. Well, it's a little bit chilly this morning, but not like frosty chilly. There's no frost on the rooftops or anything, but there's a little bit chill. But yesterday was almost in the 50s here, it seemed like. But no, Scruffy and a lot of the folks in the community who I've met this past year, their stuff has grown. Not because they've cut corners or bought followers or anything, but they just put the work in. And either people, what I had to realize, and it's the same thing, I guess in a way with like my photography, right? Years ago when I started to share my photos on it is a lot warmer than expected. Yeah. But that's okay. I can live with that. It's not, I just have to adjust. I don't have to wear my thermals to bed anymore, or at least not yet. I can take those off and not be overheated. But when I began sharing my photos on Flickr, they would have like a what was it called? It wasn't like a competition, but they would just pick photos out of amongst the whole Flickr community, all the billions and millions of photos that are being shared, and they'd say, "Oh, this month, these are we think these are the best photos out of the whole entire Flickr community." And I would be very angry about it. Like, I would just be like, "You got to be kidding me! This stuff is crap." Well, in retrospect, was it really crap? No. It was just like, what am I doing that I'm not getting picked for any of this stuff, right? Something simple like a leaf. It's like, it's a leaf. Why is that so special? Oh, we just think it is. Okay, fine. So, and like when I would post photos, I get views, but a lot of people wouldn't leave like it. And so I'm just like, well, okay, fine. So I had to learn to take the photos that I found pleasing. If other people found it pleasing, so be it. But if they didn't, that's on them. That's their choice, right? And the same thing with flight simming and streaming in general. Sometimes you are people's cup of tea, for lack of a better term. And other times, even when you are, something will happen and they'll be like, well, no, you're no longer my cup of tea. Well, you're free to come and go as you choose. So, yeah, I know I will never be as big. Two Tone's been flight simming for quite some time and has been a part of the community for quite a while. Scruffy and I probably got into it roughly at the same time. But, him being on the PC, he has more, he can do more than I can. I'm working within a handicap system, so to speak, which is okay. That's just how it is. Until I can get a PC. But even once I get a PC, I know I'm not going to be able, I don't want to compete with everybody else. I just want to do my bit. If people find it interesting, so be it. If they don't, that's okay too. It's not the end of the world. Well, maybe this VORDME up here is not as powerful as I thought it was going to be. But no, I just try to do, if I'm really having a bad day, like if I wake up in the morning and I'm just not feeling it, I just don't stream, because I've tried it in the past where I thought, well, let me get the stream in, but then little things will set me off, and then it just spirals out of control, and then I end up deleting sure I got the rate. 41595. I think I got it. Just let me double check. Nope. So we're just not picking this on this. So yeah, I end up deleting the stream because it's just it I feel very ugly about it and about myself. And so yeah, I'm trying to be better about that. But there's days I don't have tolerance for stupidity, for lack of a better term. But I know for a fact, like, if I feel like no, I can't do it today because there we go, it finally pinged. 50, just under 60 nautical miles. There we go. Yeah, and it's just and part of it is that maybe it's just being a veteran and having seen stupidity during my time in the military. You recognize it, and I shouldn't say stupid. When people are acting foolish or just acting up in general, yeah, there's times where it's just like I can laugh it off, and other times I'm just like, yeah, today's not that day, But yeah, I try to have that, try to make it relaxing. If I know I can't, because in the military, when you're demoralized for whatever reasons, whether it's just you got stuff going on in your personal life or your chain of command is tore up from the floor up, well, you just have to fake your morale. You better fake it. Well, there's times that I can fake it. There's times that I'm just like, nope, I can't fake it today. I can't do it. Yeah, it's. I was getting frustrated because early on, because it's just like no matter what I did, the channel wasn't growing. I was trying to do things for everybody else but myself. And once I did, now of course there's people who aren't going to appreciate that, right? They're going to be like, oh, now you're being selfish. What about me? Why don't you do what I want you to do? Well, because it's my channel. If you want to do things, and I get it. Part of it is that people come in and they're like, oh, flight sim, can you fly here? Because they can't afford the sim, or they don't have a computer. They can't afford either one, right? And I'm sorry, that's terrible, but like somebody came one time, well, can you gift me this game? Just out of the blue, not like somebody who came in and hung out for quite some time and just, no, can you give me this game? You think I'm I'm sitting on millions of dollars that I can just give away games. I don't have that kind of clout. I don't have that kind of money just sitting around. Uh, but yeah, I promise myself that if I wake up in the morning and I'm just not feeling it that day for whatever reasons, well, then the stream's canceled. You know, that way I avoid that ugliness in myself, and um, I'd rather avoid that than try to come in and fake the funk, so to speak, as we used to say in the army. Because when you try to fake the funk, eventually it's going to catch up to you, and people are going to know. So, but there's days that it's like, well, I can muscle through it. I can get it done. And it turns out to be a better stream than expected. But there's days of, better not. Better not. I'd rather fly off stream doing other things and just, get some hours in the air, get some miles in the air, whatever you want to call it, than have a terrible stream and have to delete it. Alright, 59 minutes. Because I think, well, the great thing now is if it's not a great stream for me and I just feel like it wasn't, I can delete it. I don't even have to upload it to YouTube. I won't do it. Matter of fact, I didn't upload the video from the other day on the trains. Yeah, because it's just not, it was just something fun to do yesterday. It's not like, it's not going to be the featured content on this channel. Did Mick, oh, nope, there he is. So where did Mick go? But yeah, it was just something fun to do. But it doesn't mean it has to go on YouTube. Sounds all stuttery. All right. All right, we're just about halfway to our second WRDME there in Alexandria, Minnesota. I believe it's in Minnesota. Yeah. And then we are going to turn Chandler Field. Then we got one final one over by St. Cloud we'll tune into, and we'll be on the ground before we know it. We'll wrap this up for the day, and it will be tonight. It'll be 1 o'clock Eastern, 1800 UK UTC, over on. Right there. Oops. That's so part. So I'll be joining Mick on his farm tonight. Knock on wood. Hopefully, fingers crossed that everything goes well. We can get some time on the farm tonight. So if you want to watch some farming fun on Farm Sim 22, do join us there on his Twitch. No telling what we might get into. Tonight. We will try. Yes, we will. Absolutely. So, no telling what we might get up to tonight. Are you going to get it before 1800 tonight, Joseph? Better go now. You better be on your way to the store right now, young man. Time's a ticking. Yeah, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock UK time. For those of you who don't quite jive or understand the 24-hour clock lingo. The military lingo. Yeah. We won't be streaming at 0 Dark 30. Although we could. Secretly, we're going to be streaming tonight at about midnight. Young Eddie's is asleep. Hey Joseph, you better run to the store and go get your top-up card now if you're going to join tonight. Let me get some ads rolling here real quick, folks. Should have been at the store waiting for it to open already, Joseph. Nick, remind me to move the my harvester over near where we're going to be at so I can keep an eye on it. I don't want Addie's nicking it. He might try to take it to the... Go get you some throat lozenges. Or make sure you mute your mic if you're going to be hacking in everybody's ear tonight. We don't want them taking the well, that's right. You can limit what people can do with the equipment. I forgot about that. Never mind. He won't be able to sell it. We did figure out your first assignment on the farm yesterday, Joseph. Mick and I were talking. We do have your first assignment already. All right, 27 nautical miles. You know, just thinking, boy, when we finally touch down in Japan on Saturday, there'll be, let's see, if we start at 6:45 East Coast time, means we're not going to land in Japan until 6:45 in the evening. I don't know. I might just go to bed early. I might be so wiped out. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get it done. Fingers crossed that the stream or the game doesn't CTD. If it does, I'm going to pause immediately. Well, I'm going to try to get things restarted, but the problem will be is that if the game crashes, I can't. There's not a place for me to start. You know, like a save point. That's the only drawback. So if it crashes, and all that time will have been lost. Unfortunately. This will be the longest flight I've done on Saturday by about 5 hours. I think I did seven. I flew from JFK to Frankfurt. I think it was like 7 or 8. So yeah, we're gonna have it's gonna be a long one. Yeah, we may have an assignment for you as soon as we start the stream, Joseph. Actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, we could make that 2 assignments in one, Mick. So I'm guessing then, because Joseph doesn't have the cord of this anymore, we're going to have to use the in-game chat, voice chat, to be able to talk. But then, Mike, I don't know, maybe if you know the answer to this or not, Nick, does that mean we'll only hear each other, or will the viewers hear us as well? Or will they only hear you? Okay. I guess we'll know for sure once we get things started. Fair enough. I think let's see, we got some. Okay. I'm going to take a quick step away for just a moment. I'll be right back, folks. Let me go in the outside view there. There we are. So yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's see how... Yeah, I just pushed a little off course there. Not a big deal. Alright. Well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. It's nice to have you all along. We're back tomorrow, 6:45 Eastern, 11:45 UTC/UK. In the Junkers 52, departing from St. Cloud's Regional and heading to Joe Foss Field in Sioux Falls. Hey! Predator, how are you? Nice to see you here. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Nice to see you. Long time no see. Hopefully you're well. Thank you for the congratulations. Appreciate it. Yeah, it happened a few months back. Just finally got pushed over the hump there. I just had a couple of about a week or so, I think, of good streams and some good support, and now we're on the hopefully we can make partner next. But it's a goal, but it's not like a must be, have to sort of thing. If it happens, it happens. If not, it's okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes it's good to take a break from all that. Um, yeah, I don't spend as much time on social media as I used to. It's just not uh, what I discovered. It's not very healthy after all. you know, despite what the uh, the marketing research might tell you, it is not a very healthy place to live. So, no, I completely understand that. So, yeah, I don't try not to spend too much time there. So, that's just not. But anyway. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Joe just went live doing his train stuff. For those of you who did watch my Train Sim World 3 video the other day, who were here in the live stream, I don't know have I done one from Joe? I don't think I did. If you're interested in more train simming content, like that, this is the predominant content on his channel. Go check out look at this. Afternoon, where are we traveling today? West Coast Main Line South. Like, see, that's why I can't. I'm gonna get. But do go check out the British Ace is his channel name. He's on there right now. As a matter of fact, he's getting ready to go live on Train Sim World. Not the. It's the PC version. If you don't watch mine, you roll your eyes. That's okay, Mick. Some eye rolling isn't. There's nothing wrong with that. I reckon Bex rolls her eyes even when she's not watching your stream. Bex probably rolls her eyes as soon as she wakes up in the morning. All right. We got one more to go. And we'll be on the ground. The airport should be under those clouds. It's in the clouds. There's a little airport over here somewhere. All right. We got one more to dial in here, and it'll be 11210. Just go ahead and get that dialed in now. All right. But yeah, had some good luck. Didn't expect to make affiliate. It just kind of happened that way, and I don't. Making partner is a whole nother beast to deal with. Let me get this. Should be on heading 109. Got a little bumpy here all of a sudden. This was smooth flying there for quite a while. So this leg is supposed to be 55 nautical miles, so of course the good thing is if you make partner, you have then your videos stay on Twitch for a lot longer. So of course mine are over on YouTube. I will download or load this up on YouTube as soon as we wrap this up. We'll get it going. And basically what I've done is to facilitate the time a little bit quicker. It's just in standard definition. It's not in high def. Happy New Year's to you as well. Yeah, if it happens, it happens. If not, it's not. Like I said, it's not like the end of the world either. I mean, it's, it'd be nice if it happens, but it's not. I'm not going to get upset if it doesn't. Do a quick ad run here real quick. Sit tight. Should be the last one of the screen. I think Nick's still flying. Yep. Pressing. I don't know if he's getting ready to land. Nick, are you getting ready to land? There in Alexandria? I don't think the airport's that far. No, he's catching. So yeah, we're gonna have lots of great things coming up this year. I think for the channel, we're gonna try to do a glider flight eventually. I'd like to try to do it in Yosemite. I know there's an airport not far from Yosemite, but I have to make sure that we take off at a reasonable altitude so that we can get over around the Yosemite Valley and all that before we go find a... Oh, okay. I thought the way you were going there for a second, I thought you were getting ready to land somewhere. So we're going to do that. We will eventually do, on a Friday, we will do the flight in the Concorde from JFK to Heathrow. That's good. That's about a 4.5 hour flight. I thought it was much quicker than that for some reason. But if we're going east, then hopefully we'll catch a nice tailwind and we'll pop along at Mach 2 for most of the flight. And we'll land in Heathrow. That is still on the agenda. I still got to put some time in to practice that, just to at least get one or maybe 2 flights in, just so that I understand how the whole thing works. I started to understand it, and then I just kind of like, eh. So, but that will be on a Friday sometime in the near future. Let's see what else do we have. It's interesting that it's not picking it up. It's not that we're that far away from it, but it must not be a very powerful VOR DME. Any minute now that needle will come alive. Let's see. There it is. even farther. One more farther. Yeah. Check. And once we know that once we see that needle go alive, this one right here, the one that's facing to the right, the pointer's facing to the right. So there's more distance we got to go. It's STC. It should be on, it's right next to the airport, 11210 STC. It should be near the our destination. But as soon as we get that needle to come alive, we'll know how much farther we got left to go. But I know we've had to fly at least 10, 15 nautical miles into this last leg so far. I'm thinking at least that much. Once we get that info, then we'll know roughly what we got left to do. Turn the landing lights on now. Once we park there at St. Cloud, try to get a little quick group photo. We'll wrap things up. Okay, so we got to get a little bit closer. So any minute now, we should probably, by the time we cross over this little area down here, I'm guessing that may be about where. Let's see. How did you find that out? Where did you get that info, Steve? Curious. Is that like on a little nav map that shows you the distance? I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah. That figures. Go little nav map. See, that's something that they should incorporate into these little tablets. You would think that's info that would be readily available. Can't think. Oh, there we go. Yep. Now we got it. 37. It just hit. Alrighty. So we need to start dropping some altitude. First and foremost, we need to slow down a little bit and have a controlled fall out of the sky. Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's just that it's not. Well, maybe on the PC side it is without a little nav map, but on the Xbox side, I don't think a lot of that for whatever reasons, that info is not available. It doesn't seem like, although it may be. No, it's hard to say because with me being on the Xbox, what info we have access to and what we don't. Because sometimes it seems like we do, and then all of a sudden, no. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I would think that that'd be something that they could add to this. Since I think they're trying to get little nav map on the Xbox, but I don't know that they would. It's one of those tricky things, I think. Just like the sim brief, there's a couple planes that you can import your sim brief flight plan right into the FMS. I know the Honda Jet, you can do it. I think you can do it on the Vision Jet, maybe, and then the A310. So it's possible to do. So I don't know. Maybe as part of the avionics fix, like the A320 and a bunch of other stuff that they're gonna improve upon. Maybe that's something that they could make available for all the jetliners. You know, not just the PMDG stuff. Unit builds and all that. It'd be nice. Because I do use Sky Vector, and I would think on Sky Vector that information would be available. But maybe if you're using the free version, which if you're a flight simmer, they don't want you to have an account. That's the only drawback. All right, 30 nautical miles. We're getting there, folks. So we'll wrap things up. Do a quick little family photo once we're on the ground. We'll wrap things up for the day. Meet with Mick later on this afternoon over on his farm. If you want to watch some farming shenanigans, you join us over there. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow. Acre 52. The rough plan together for tomorrow. Make it show you're way up there, but it's showing you like you're right next to me. Oh, wait, no. Now, see, look at that. Now you're a little ahead of me. Hey, slept away. Hey, that's all right. Sometimes it's the best thing for you. But welcome. Nice to see you here. I thought maybe you were just lurking, doing other stuff. Nice to see you, Scruff. Your right-hand man was in here earlier. He might be lurking here still. Oh, it's always nice to see you here, Scruff. I thought maybe you were working on a honeydew list or something. Just didn't have time to say hello. Yeah, we are 24 nautical miles out of St. Cloud Regional in Minnesota. We got Spider Steve is in the Acre 52 behind me. My brother across the pond, Watt Mickford, is in the DC-3. He's descending and probably going to get on the ground before. Oh, you do have one. I figured she might give you one before you had to go back to work tomorrow. All right. So, let's see if we can talk to them yet. There it is. I like it. Straight in. Alright, let me look at the, what is our expected, what's the airport altitude there? 1,030 feet. Okay. I can't believe it's towered. I thought it would have been a... one towered airport there. All right. All right. Let's yeah, I don't need to upgrade my stream or anything. I'm fine just the way it is. But thank you for your concern. We prefer to upgrade the stream through hard work and dedication. That's what we do. Ooh, look at that. Oh boy, there's our pattern entry right there. Ooh, we're gonna have to really... Alright folks, let me focus on getting us on the ground. I'll be back in the chat in just a moment. Once again for coming in and hanging out today. Being a part of the stream. The first Monday stream of the new year. First official flight sim stream for me for 2023. Lots of flying to come this year. Lots of places we haven't yet flown. We will get there. So we continue from here tomorrow from St. Cloud to Joe Foss Field, Sioux Falls. runway should be pick the longest of the two, so we got a little bit of room to bleed off speed over the runway if we need it. We'll try to touch down as expeditiously and forthwith as we can. Turn that off. It has served its purpose. Paradox is in the chat. Hello, Paradox. Sorry, I just saw Scruffy just say something. I was just looking over to my left here where the laptop sits. So welcome, Paradox. We are just getting ready to wrap things up for the day. At least here on my stream. I'll be joining Knock on Fake Wood. Pickford on his FS22 farm tonight. Well, this afternoon for me, tonight for him. The farm will be fire, bro. It'll be lit. It started as a bit of a joke. Mick's normal streaming partner Pulse was playing Assassin's Creed. Was it Origins or no? It was Odyssey. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And somebody came in and was like, "Oh, this game is fire, bro." So, oh man. So every once in a while, Mick will say something like that in Pulse's stream when they're not streaming together. So that became a little inside joke there. Yo, this plane is fire, bro. Lower so I can be a little bit flatter, make it a little bit easier to bleed off the speed as we come in for the runway. Enough to get over the edge there. Little bump coming up. Here it comes. Boom. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to St. Cloud's Regional. Local time is 8:27 in the morning. There we are. There we are. Clear the runway. Spiders coming in one way. Mix coming in the other way. Who's going to get on the ground first? Ah, thank you. Need to fly more. Well, you're always welcome to fly when I'm flying. You see me on? I'm guessing that's right ahead there. Yep. Fuel? No, we don't want a fuel thing in the... Man, we don't need fuel. Oh, well, thank you, Mella. Appreciate it. That wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better. But we'll take it. We're on the ground. Mix made it. Almost forgot my gear. So you know the bad part's going to be that if I don't park in the box there, the box won't disappear. Oh, looks like somebody's had some oil spills here. Look at that. That's just terrible. I need to clean that up. Oop. No, that's not what I want. I want this thing to disappear. Come on. Yeah, it's not important. Oh, there it goes. Of course. You just turn the lights off. Yeah, go ahead and smoke by the, that's alright. Alright, let's see. We're waiting on Mick to park, and we'll get a quick picture. Will the teenager go back to school? Yeah. All right. Get a group photo here real quick. Although, see, that's the sad part. Mixing a DC-3, but look what it shows them as. Try to get the we can't get a spot where we can get the names. I think we're all kind of spiders. There we go. Oops. Admit. There we go. Ta-da. All right. There we go. Well, that will do it for today, folks. At least we got his DC-3. He's not in a little Cessna or Beechcraft. He's in a DC-3. Let me shut my engines down. We'll shut the batteries off. And 1, 2. There we are. 2 hours and 23 minutes. So yeah, not too bad. We did pretty good. Thanks, YouTube Paradox. Like I said, you're always welcome to come in and fly if you see us on. Or see me on. You're more than welcome to join in. I'm usually always on the Southeast Asia server. Yeah, you're welcome, Predator. All right, Scruffy, don't work too hard on the list. Let me just put my hours in here real quick. No, we'll just wrap things up here. So yeah, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Greatly enjoyed it. Nice to see you all here. Happy New Year's for those who I didn't get a chance to say it to over yesterday or anything. I'll try and join the flight. Oh, now we're makes me forget another planes. Yes, yep, I've done that before. Yeah, you're always welcome to. Anybody's welcome. Tomorrow we'll be back in the Yonkers 52, departing from St. Cloud Regional, heading over to Joe Foss Field in Sioux Falls. And so, yeah, that should be a little bit shorter flight tomorrow. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Nice to see you all here. Happy New Year once again. And I will see you tomorrow for sure. Do enjoy the rest of your Monday morning, afternoon, evening, early Tuesday. Some folks are already in the 3rd day of January. Believe it or not, it's true. So, until tomorrow, peace, live long. Oh, I'm sorry. Until tomorrow, I have been and always shall be your host and pilot. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.